Let's get to it. Let's get to it. What's good, fam? It's your boy Dwayze on Blaze. You know the name, you know the face, you know the time and the place. Okay, guys, this is status quo. The return of Emtee. 70 million streams. Oh my god. Okay, 348k monthly listeners and new streaming. What is that? New streaming highs. Okay, I thought it said new streaming rights for some reason. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. Mzansi A-listers, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. Yay.
On some stats, Emtee seems to be regaining his footing in South African hip-hop.
Yes, sir.
With streams continuing to pile up and monthly listeners that keep breaking new highs. And seemingly, he's getting closer to giving the new generation a run for their money, considering that he had his peak before Spotify even launched in South Africa. But to start,
look what Emtee did to, look what J Marley did to Emtee. You see? He said all that nonsense about Emtee. Emtee said, nah, never that. Let me show this young man right now. Let me show him right quick who the hustler really is. And look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. They're showing for himself. As soon as Emtee really want to go at it, Emtee always manages to create that motion. And that's one thing I love about the hustler. Okay?
Emtee's total streams on Spotify are approaching 70 million, with over 340,000 monthly listeners. His total streams may not reflect his contribution to South African hip-hop because, as mentioned, he peaked before Spotify even launched in South Africa, when Fakaza and Zamob were still running the show. So technically, he falls behind guys like Blackie, who have over 100 million streams in total. And this also has to do with the fact that after he left Ambitious, his performance had been impacted significantly, and his streams took a nosedive. But recently, Emtee has gotten back to getting over 1 million streams a month, with his last 28 days approaching 2 million, and he recently surpassed his peak of over 300,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah, this last song he dropped was actually quite fire. I actually enjoyed it. It felt like that Emtee that we know and love, bro. So I think it's called Believe. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
As he broke past that in March 2023, but later fell back and never broke past that point until a year later, in April 2024. What is interesting is that he seems to have established a floor at around 200,000 monthly listeners, with recent lows not going below that, meaning that he's not only increasing his monthly audience, but also retaining the majority of that audience at the same time. The audience itself is largely South African and African, with some numbers in the UK and the US. However, overall, Emtee is supposed to be way past that.
Emtee has more listeners in South Africa than Tyler has in South Africa. Is that okay? Does that make sense to y'all? I don't know.
Musicians that he introduced to us, like Java, have already had over 1 million monthly listeners multiple times. Or A-Reece, who has had over 100 million total streams. But given that his career took a very hard knock, and most people had thought that his career was about to die due to the scandals in his private life,
we never thought that. We never ever thought that for 1 second.
Emtee is seemingly getting back up, with listeners that are considered to be 1%, as most South African rappers have never had numbers above 300,000, and even few of them have ever touched 1 million monthly listeners. His daily streams are not yet consistent, as they go up and down rapidly, but even at his lowest, he still pulls anywhere between 10,000 to 60,000. Of course, with certain days where he goes over 100,000 or even 200,000 in one day. What is most peculiar about Emtee is how his most streamed songs are genuinely his, or songs that he carried, meaning that he's responsible for the majority of his numbers.
Yeah, look at that. We up, favorite of mine. Roll Up, of course, classic. Roll Up remix, I guess, classic too. Oh, Abangani, bro. Yo, Abangani. Hey, bro, what a jam, bro. But I made it anyway. Opera vocals. Born to Win, Banger, Logan. One of my favorite songs from Emtee, of course. I'm surprised. Oh, I was about to say We Up is not on here. Of course, We Up is on here. Of course, banger. What about Bell to see? Bell. Okay.
and doesn't rely on features, either being national or international. The sad part though is how a significant portion of his most popular songs are songs that are with ambitious, which he has said that the royalties from which he doesn't earn. And this does matter because Emtee's catalog is low-key one of the most valuable in South African history, and it keeps adding on new milestones each week, which proves to have high replay value. And this is something that most rappers say about their catalogs, but very few of them can match Emtee's replay value. The artist sponsor for this video is TSA.
Shout out TSA. And yeah, man, I think when it comes to Emtee, you know, Emtee for me is like, he's like one of those artists who are just gifted. They just have it. They've always had it. No matter what, you can't take it from Emtee, especially when he's in hustle mode, when he's really in big hustle mode and he's really just pushing. You see it in the numbers, you see the results. Emtee is just one of those artists, a phenomenal talent, and I think one of the greatest young artists we've ever seen in South Africa. Like, Emtee is just different, bro. And yeah, man, it's nice to see him sort of getting back to the throne that he always said he wanted to get back and sit on. I think he says that in one of his songs. I think it's Born to Win, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember. But yeah, man. Shout out to Emtee, big hustle. I think he had a point to prove as well. People were trying to say, Emtee doesn't do anything. He's just a drug addict. You know, people were trying to say stuff like that. And you know, I'm just happy to see that he's pushing back and saying, nah, bro, you guys think I'm just out here leaned out. Maybe he do sip, but I think, you know, it's nice for him to prove that, yo, it's not the end of the world like you guys say it is, which I hope it's not, like, because you do hear things of Emtee, like, you know, in studio and off the you know, the purple juice, you know. So anyway, guys, I don't know why I'm going into some deep speech, but yeah, I'm out this thing right now, okay? And like I said, that is why I was recording, okay? So bye now.